and I'm going to be moderating the session for today. Today, we're honored to have with us here somebody who is going to be doing justice to this topic. I would be introducing him briefly, and then also will be sharing what you'll be learning. But I already know that you know what you're going to learn today, but I will just be officially introducing that. Okay, so today we're going to be having a webinar on mastering Google tools, digital literacy for 3MTT fellows. Listen, I'm a techie no before mouth, right? We have to show workings and we have to do doings. And one of such ways of doing that is to have at least basic knowledge of Google tools, because it's going to help you in your day-to-day activity, at work, or even your day-to-day interactions and the things that you do. And so in today's digital age, Google tools has become indispensable, both for your personal and then for your professional use as well. So whether you're a student, you're a professional, whatever it is that you're doing, and you're looking to enhance those skills, this webinar is right for you. Okay, so welcome all again. I can see that the numbers are increasing. Great. If we can get it to over the number it is right now, I will be so excited. And so in this webinar, we're going to explore some of the most essential Google tools and how you can use them effectively. We have right here with us Mr. Yemi Johnson. He is the co-founder and CEO of Metaverse Magna, which is a mobile gaming company, and he has spent his career building consumer software companies across gaming, consumer SaaS, marketplace, digital content, and e-commerce as well. He is also the founder of Texture Science Lab, which is primarily a science-based care company and producing lab that is across 47 countries. Wow. Before then, he was the COO at hotels.ng, where he drove the operations for the company. And please join me as I make welcome today as he takes us on how to leverage Google tools to improve our productivity, collaboration, and our overall digital literacy. Our speaker for today, Mr. Yemi Johnson. It is such an honor to have him right here with us as he shares. I'm just going to quickly unmute him now, and then we'll go right in. But while he's getting on the stage, please, a clapping ovation. I want to see that excitement in the chat. You know how we do it here. So just drop your favorite emoji, the highs, what you're expecting to learn today. Deborah says, amazing profile, amazing. Yes, I second that as well. If Mr. Yemi is ready, over
Hi.
to you, sir. It's such an honor to have you here. Thank you.
Hi, Victoria, and thank you, Deborah. It seems like you're my only fan here. Okay, other people started dropping
I'm your
clap.
fan too now. All the hype I was hyping since, because it's only Deborah's own.
Okay, you and Deborah, but I can see other people have joined in, so
Yeah.
you people are making me smile.
Thank you. All
Thanks
right,
a lot
over
for
to you.
having me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks for having me. And thanks everyone for being on the call. Really appreciate you taking time out of your busy days to join us on this call. So today we're going to be talking about mastering Google tools, but Victoria, are you able to allow me to share my screen? I'd like
Yes.
to
Okay. So
show
just
some things on the screen.
just give me a minute to sort that out.
Okay. So for the participants on the call, right, while we're on the call, I'd like for anyone to just share what they do, because I would like to use some examples of the things that I see people do on the call. So maybe if you're an accountant, or maybe you are a marketer, or you're selling things online, or you're selling things in the market. I'd just like to know what people do on the call, or even if you're a student, or any kind of hustle you're doing, like just post it in the chat. Like, okay, I can see someone is a project manager, someone is a virtual assistant. That's good. So please post like whatever you're doing, like just post it on in the chat, as I'd like to see. I can see someone here as a teacher, researcher, so technical trainee, salesman, a lawyer. So the reason why I'm asking is that I think that a lot of what you're about to learn is very useful to many of you. Because very many people might think that, well, I'm a doctor or I'm an accountant, And so maybe tech isn't for me, or mastering Google tools isn't for me. And I'm going to be showing you something that shows very much that this is for you, right? So I've seen different people. Some are web developers, some are teachers, customer service agents, teacher, supermarket manager, business owner, right? And so in doing all of these things, you have built some skill or you have some knowledge that other people don't have, right? And I'm going to be teaching you how to use that knowledge to earn some extra income for yourself, with your current skill set using Google tools, right? I can say an SEO specialist on the call. So I used to do a lot of SEO in the past. I grew a lot of websites to millions of visitors in the past. So whoever is an SEO specialist here, you're in a familiar space. So let me see if I can share my screen now. Okay, I can. Give me a minute to share the page I want to share. Okay. So I believe you guys can see my screen now. Just choose this, toggle this. So the first thing that I want to show here is you would have observed that we're on a page called Google Products, right? Now, Google has a lot of products, a lot. Many of you are not even aware that all of these products are Google-related products. So almost all of you know Android, and all of you know Google Chrome, right? And then all of you actually know Google Search, and maybe Google Drive. But these are all products from Google. Some of them you're familiar with, some of them you're not. Even I myself, I'm not familiar with some of these products, right? But the reason why I'm showing you this page is to show you that Google has a lot of products that people use, right? Now, you don't need to master and know all of these tools, because they're not necessarily relevant to you. You can do that on your own time. But this is just to show that there are a lot of products, and all of these products have millions of people using them. Like, for instance, Google Search alone, billions of people use Google Search worldwide, right? Billions of people use Android worldwide. Now, we're going to be focusing on Google's bread and butter, which is Google Search, right? And I'm going to be showing you a couple of things to do on Google Search, right? Google started as a search product, and that is still their most profitable product. It's their biggest product, their most profitable product, and it's the thing that you need to learn how to use if you really want to be in this digital age. Now, I previously wrote this post in 2019, and the title of this post is How to Get $3,000 clients as a freelancer, right? You can see the title here, but the way to actually approach this is using Google Search. And I'm going to be showing you a couple of things. Now, I wrote this post in 2019 when I used to do a lot of SEO. And the reason why I wrote this post was that I realized, and this was even before like the dollar devaluation and the economy was a bit shaky. But when I wrote this post, I wrote it because like many people would ask me like, okay, how do I get started with SEO? Or I have some skills. How do I monetize my skills? Right. So I wrote this post in 2019. And shortly after I wrote it, I had a bunch of people reach out to me. And this is one of the people that reached out to me. I posted some of their screenshots telling me that they tried some of the ideas here on how they source clients, right? This is one of the persons, like these are just screenshots from the person showing me that this is how they got clients, right? Now, what I really want to show you is how to use Google Search for you to be able to leverage your skill sets to be able to find people that will patronize your skill sets, right? So you don't have to be a web developer to be able to leverage technology to make money on the internet. The good thing about the internet is that it makes it easy for you to connect with almost anybody in the world, right? And if you have a skill somewhere in the world, you're in Nigeria, you have a skill, maybe you're even in Maiduguri, you have a skill. Someone else in the world needs your skill. Even someone else in Nigeria needs your skill. But because the internet makes the entire world open to you, it means that before, if there were only 100 people in Nigeria that need your skill sets, now think about the entire world, and there are millions of people in the world that need your skill set. And we can then find people that need your skill set and target them and say, hey, I do this very well, right? Let me help you. Here's proof that I can do this very well. And if the person thinks that your skill set is valuable, then they might want to hire you to help them do something, right? So say, for instance, you're an accountant, right? You know how to do record keeping well. You know how to do bookkeeping well. There are many businesses in the world, many small businesses in the world that need your skill set, just even do only bookkeeping, right? If you can find someone that needs your service, then you can get a job from them. And the great thing is that you know that for someone else in the world somewhere, like $100 to paying you like $100 or $200 isn't a lot for them, but for you, it could be meaningful. And so that's why this is also a great thing. It's like you want to find clients that will pay you like maybe $100 or $200 to do work for them. And for you, that is a meaningful amount of money, right? Now, the way I would go about this, right, as someone who wants to use Google to find people that are interested in my skill set is that, first of all, you need to pick a niche, right? Now, I asked all of you, like, what sort of jobs to do. Some of you said you're teachers. Some of you said you're accountants. Some of you said you're digital marketers. And so your skill set can be applied in different ways. If you are a teacher, you sort of need to figure out like, okay, maybe I'm a math teacher. How can my skill set be applied to other people? Maybe what I can use my skill set to do is that I can maybe create courses, right, for people that are doing math lectures, or I can help people do their assignments or whatever it is that you feel like people need, right? If you're an accountant, is that you can help people do bookkeeping across almost any industry, right? So the first thing you need to do is like, you need to pick a niche, and it's like, okay, where can I apply my skill sets? So say, for instance, you are a digital marketer. You can say that I can help my clients build their websites, or I can help them run Google Ads, or I can help them do some SEO, right? And you need to first of all pick a niche. And a niche here is, plumbing, right? That is, you want to help plumbers in a certain country get more visitors or get more business on the internet. Or you can say that you want to help people that sell cars, right? You can pick that niche and say car salesmen, right? I want to help them. Or you can say restaurant owners, I want to help them do X, right? So you want to think very well through your skill set and the niche you want to pick, right? So think again, what is my skill set? What skills do I have? And everyone on this call has a skill, right? You have been doing some form of career before you even joined this call, or at least you have been doing some form of hustle. I know everyone on this call works hard. As Nigerians, we work hard, right? So everyone has a skill. So think of what is your skill, right? And how can I apply it to other industries? And by niche here, I mean an industry. And that is what I mean by pick a niche. So pick an industry, right? And so when you pick an industry, you also want to consider that what is the value of that industry? So in some industries, when they service a client, that client is probably going to pay like, let's just say $20, right? So per client they service, they're only making $20. And so if you are servicing the clients in an industry that makes $20 per customer, it means that their ability to pay you is very small. But if you're servicing an industry where per customer that person is serving, that customer is paying the owner of the business maybe $500 to $1,000, then it means that it can afford to pay more because it's a bigger sum of money. So you pick your niche and you pick your industry first and ensure that your skill applies to it. Now, I mentioned why you get clients, right? So for us, the goal is that we want to go to developed markets, right? Where there are a lot of businesses in those developed markets and say, hey, in these developed markets, I'm talking about countries like maybe the the Western market, so think of countries like the US or the United Kingdom that are also English speaking, right? You want to go there and then say that when you approach them, remember that these people are already paying more expensive fees, right? And so you are offering the same service that they might have paid someone else or a better service at a lower price point. And the reason why you can do that is because you have the skill and your cost of operations are lower, right? It costs you less to provide that service. So when you have determined your industry and you know the industry you want to serve, which is skill set, let me post a link to this blog post for all of you in the chats, right? Let me just post it so that you can come back to it anytime. I'm not sure if I can pin a blog post or pin a comment, but maybe Victoria can help us pin it also so that everybody can click on it and follow through as I'm speaking. So, as I was saying, we can, then the next thing for us to do is to find clients through Google Advanced Search. Now, everybody knows that, oh, if you're looking for something, you should Google, right? But there are really good ways and better ways to use Google, right? And that's what I'm going to be showing you. So I'm going to be showing you how to use Google search to find the kind of people you want to pitch, right? Let me, someone is trying to call me. Sorry. Okay, let me just ensure no one can call me again. Okay. So as I was saying, we will be using Google Advanced Search, right? And I linked to an article here that talks about all the ways you can use Google Advanced Search. But for the sake of this conversation, I'm just going to be showing you a few things. Now, the first thing to notice is that many small businesses don't have a website, right? But if you go to Google Maps, you can find them, right? And what Google does as one of the products that Google has is something called Google Sites, right? If you go to this, their list of products here, they have a product called Google Sites, right? I'm trying to see if I would find it easily here. So this is it here. They have a product called Sites. And what Sites does is that it helps small businesses build their own websites, right? Now, Google automatically will build this website for them. And the thing about these websites is that they always are, if you look at the URL, that is the domain name, that is the thing that is in the browser, they always have this keywording. They always have this business.site inside them. So it can be emekaandsons.business.site, or it can be stephenplumbing.business.site, right? Now, what we want to do is we want to probably find every website that has this business or sites in them. And the way we can easily do this is that we would use this query here, right? Where we select niche. I'm going to copy this into my Google search bar now. And I'm going to replace the word niche here with the industry we have chosen. So maybe the industry I've chosen is fast food restaurants, right? Or saloons, or car sales, or plumbing, right? Then in text here is going to be the physical store location. So we're going to then say maybe Austin, Texas, right? So I give an example here. So let's copy this phrase and put it in Google search and see what happens, right? So we've copied this phrase and put it in Google search, but what it has done is that it has given us it didn't return any search. So I'm going to just do this. Doesn't seem to be returning a search. Let's change it to a different industry. Let's try restaurants. Sorry. Okay, so it's not returning any search, and I think I know why. The way Google shows sites that Google has changed, and when I wrote this post was in 2019, right? So I'm going to make some edits to this to show. Just hold on. Now, what I've done is that I've changed this way the parameters, the site query is, right? What I've just done is that I've replaced the business.site that came after the site here. Let me just go back here. So initially we had .business.site, and the reason why we have this asterisk is a wildcard. It represents, it's saying basically it represents anything, right? And when you type this into Google, it will just say, okay, let me find every website in the internet that has Austin in the body of the website, right? It has business.site in the URL bar, and the niche is plumbing, right? That's what the search query would do, right? And when I initially did this, you can see that I had a lot of people come up, right? But the reason why this isn't working for me right now is because it seems like Google has changed the URL from using business.site to something else, which I'm not sure of right now. And so what I did here is just remove the business.site and replace it with a .com. So this asterisk.com could be any websites.com, right? And so now I have a lot of websites coming up. I can go to other pages of Google that these websites are now restaurants, have to do with restaurants in the area called Austin, Texas, right? So let me change this from restaurants to, let's just say, plumbing, right? Let's say we want to serve plumbing businesses in this area, right? And I'm going to expand the area from Austin to just the entire state of Texas. Okay, let's just. So now what we have found is we found a bunch of websites. You can see all of these websites about plumbing, right, in the state of Texas, right? And you can go to other pages to find more, to see more of these businesses. Now, if I'd only just searched maybe plumbers in Texas, I wouldn't get the independent websites of all of these plumbers. Now, I can open any of these websites and I will be able to find more information, show their contact details and more information about them, right? So if I go to the bottom, I'll probably be able to find their contact us page, go to this website so I can find our contact us page. And I can then pitch my service to them, right? You can then pitch your service to them, right? Now, let's continue with this article here. So from the example I have above here, I initially mentioned that there were 200 results for this query, and everybody that came out was everyone that had a business website that was related to providing a plumbing service in this location, Austin, Texas, right? So now the next thing is we want to learn is, okay, so here I have like other examples of things you can search for to find more businesses. So for instance, in the site queries, some of you are familiar with WordPress. WordPress is a sort of website builder that allows you to build websites. And many people also, or many businesses use WordPress to build our websites too. So if you try the same thing, right? If you try the same thing with WordPress, you would be able to also find other websites that come up that are dedicated towards that client. So, I mean, that are dedicated towards like the business owners in that industry. Now, I've also given another example of, you can also use social media to find clients, right? Now, example I have here is we can select the niche, right, which is the industry. The site is Instagram.com, right? Many businesses have Instagram, and in their bio, they add their phone number, right? So I can take an example, like say my industry is beauty, right? I can decide to say, oh, I want to find beauty businesses on Instagram, right? And I'm going to use their country code, right? So I'm just going to quickly type this in my Google search, right? And say, let's pick a what's the name now? An industry, beauty, right? Now, what I've gotten is I've gotten many beauty businesses that have +234 in their what's name in their bio. And I know every business has +234 is a Nigerian business. I can just change it to +1, and we know what the country code +1 is the United States. I can change it to any country code, and I'll be able to find businesses within the beauty industry that have +1 in their country code, right? I can change it to, let's say, I don't want to do beauty, I want to do entertainment, right? But you know what? Let me do nightclubs, right? And I can see a bunch of nightclubs, right? With a country code, their phone number starts with +1. And so now I found new clients I can reach out to based on this, right? So now we've discovered how to find clients. And the last way would just be to go to Google Maps and search the what's the name? The industry in a location. And I always advise, do an industry in a location for you to be able to find clients rather than trying to do a very broad search. You can pick an area, like a small area, and then search for the niche you want in that location, right? Now, we've covered how to find clients. The next step will be how to contact them. Now, for contacting them, this is a place that is now tricky, and you don't want to spam people. You want to be sure that you are providing the right service to the right person, right? Now, for many of these businesses are small businesses with 10 owners. I mean, with 10 employees or less, right? And that's the kind of businesses you want to zoom in on, like businesses with very few employees, because you know that they need your help and they need to do things very cheaply, right? Some of them will have their emails on their website, right? But for many of them, the only thing you find is a phone number. But because it's a small business, you know that the owner of that, the phone number belongs to the owner, right? Or the email address belongs to the owner, right? Or at least the owner views all the email addresses, and the owner is the decision maker. It's the owner that would make the decision on whether to hire you or not. And so you want to reach out to the owner of the business, and that's why you target small businesses, because if you target a big business, you're definitely not going to meet the owner. There's no way you'll be able to contact the owner, right? So if you have their email, great. You can then email them directly. But the emails you send to them need to be very useful emails. You cannot just send them an email and be very spammy. It has to be a very useful email. I have a video that I will post in the group chat. Let me just quickly find the email. I mean, a video that I will post in the group chat that shows you how to do cold emails really well. So I'm going to post this video in the group chat for everyone to favorite, and you can keep it for yourself. This video teaches you how to do cold emails, right? Now, you can either send them a cold email or call them directly. Now, I've also given tips on how to make proper cold calls in this article, so that you can pitch yourself properly and close the sale, right? So this article contains a lot of tips on how to then close the sale. But the most important thing is to recognize that one, everyone on this call probably has a very useful skill. Two, there are a lot of people in the world that need your skill sets, right? Three, you need to be able to find those people. And the best way to find them is via Google Advanced Search, right? And this article has detailed exactly how you can do this, right? And the fourth thing is when you find these people, you need to be able to contact them appropriately without spamming them or without looking at spam, and then be able to close the sale properly, right? That is really important, right? So those are the things that you need to do to be able to master how to use Google search to begin to monetize your skill set on the internet, right? From today, this is something you can actually start doing, right? It's not rocket science. It's not hard. You don't need to learn how to code. You just need to learn how to read, and you need to learn how not to give up, right? Because what you're doing here is sales. And if you know anything about sales, sales is that you need to talk to 100, 200 people to be able to close one sale. And you know that if you can close one sale, that means you have landed a customer or a client that can pay you anywhere from $100 to $500. And you know what that means for you as a Nigerian. So that is all. I wouldn't go any further into this. I will take questions now, right? Again, I will post this article in the group chat so all of you can read the article and learn what to do. It's not impossible for you to start using the tips here to start monetizing your skill sets. It's very easy. So I will summarize again. Everybody here has a skill set. You can monetize that skill set on the internet, right? And you need to find people on the internet that need your skill set. Google Advanced Search is a really good way for you to find people on the internet that need your skill set. When you find them, you need to contact them and pitch yourself appropriately and your skill set appropriately. And by doing this, and it's not just, oh, after the first time you pitch yourself and someone tells you no, you have to, it's a sales thing you're doing. You need to sell yourself multiple times to many people. If you do this over 100 to 200 times, you'll learn how to pitch yourself better, and you eventually land clients that will pay you a certain amount of money that will be very comfortable for you, right? So that's that. And someone is writing, stop writing. That's that. I'll take any questions now.
Oh my God, who is doing this on the Jones? I think, yeah. Femi Jones or somebody. Please kindly stop this. Stop doing this. Stop doing this. It's not right at all. This is what we're talking about.
So I'll just post the links that I shared with everyone earlier again. I'm going to post them in the chat.
Okay.
Again, a word is enough for the wise. I've told you what to do. I'm sure like some of you will do it and some of you will do it very successfully. I'm looking forward to like the results from you guys doing at least one or two people on this call doing it and being successful at it. So
Amazing.
yeah. If there are
Amazing.
questions,
Thank you so
I'll take.
much. We're going to take questions. So the session is not over. We're going to take questions now. So at this point, if you have anybody, people are saying thank you. Yes, we'll still come back to the thank yous, but I want to say thank you as well, Yemi, for breaking this down and sharing this insight. This is gold. And I do hope that people are able to work with this to elevate the work that they do. So Treasure, I can see that your hands. So I'm just going to quickly unmute you, and then you can ask your question. Please ask your question as fast as possible. You don't even have an audio option, so I guess that's Abby, over to you. Please, you can ask your questions. Now is the time to just in the next 10 minutes
Okay.
ask all the questions that you have.
Good afternoon,
So ask.
everyone.
Hi, Abby. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Yemi, for the training. I just wanted to ask something. Um, how do you marry Google My Business to this?
Sorry, come again. How do you marry Google My
How do
Business?
you marry Google My Business? There's this
Yes.
like what I call it, like an app within Google that you can use to like create
Yes.
and enhance. Yeah. So how can I marry these two things, like Google My Business and this other one you just did today?
Yes. So the Google My Business is basically it's for businesses to list themselves on Google Maps and to manage their listing on Google Maps, right? So
Okay.
if I go to restaurants, let me change my view on Google. So I'm trying to change my view on Google to show me the okay. So basically these are all different businesses
Hi, yeah, I'm
in
sorry. Is there a way you can stop sharing and then get back to sharing again so that,
okay.
or let me even try to erase it.
Okay,
Yeah, so that,
let me see if the writing is right. So that the
yeah.
writing
Now you can
appear.
now share again. It's really okay.
Okay, great. So now Google My Business is the way that businesses manage their listing on Google Maps, right? So all these businesses here that are saying here are managing their listings on Google My Business. And the great thing is that these businesses are giving you the information to reach them because they want to reach customers. That's why they make the information available on Google Maps. But also it means that as someone with skills or as a freelancer, they're giving you a way to reach them, right? And that's why and for many of these businesses, many of them are small businesses. Some of them might be big businesses, but that's why you go after like niches where there are a lot of the businesses, they are small businesses, right? Because then you know that the phone number of here is most likely the owner of that business that is picking the number. So when you call it, you know it's the owner of the business that is picking the phone number. And many of these owners, they need help, right? Maybe they need help with accounting. They need help with getting more customers. They need help with different things. And so you can reach them directly and pitch yourself. But to answer your question more broadly, the way you marry this is that businesses use Google My Business to update their listing on Google Maps, right? And then Google takes all of the information they have given them to populate Google Maps and to populate the internet. You as a freelancer now have access to that information to then say, is this the kind of business that needs my service? If so, let me reach out to them so that I can pitch myself. And as I've mentioned, you want to go after small businesses, right? Because you know that the email or the phone number of the person there is the owner of the business. If you go after a big business, whoever you call is a customer service person that doesn't know you and doesn't care, right? So that's why you go after small businesses. I hope that
Amazing.
helps.
Yeah. I hope that answers your question. So we're just going to take more questions. Olumide, are you ready to go? I'll just quickly unmute you and then you can ask your question. Just make it clear and brief as possible. Olumide, okay.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me, please?
Okay, you're here.
Okay, so my question is simply that how do we use this to target end users of products and services as opposed to looking for businesses who need our skill set? I don't know if that question is clear.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. So this lesson I did here today was more for people that need your for you on this call to say, oh, I want to target businesses because I want to sell them my skill set. Now, for the question you asked is like, okay, maybe I think you're asking that you want to acquire customers for your own business or for your own products. Is that what you're asking? Olumide? Olumide, are you still there? Wait, can you guys still
Okay,
hear me?
so let me quickly unmute him.
Okay.
He cannot unmute. Okay, so Olumide, you can go on to answer the question now.
Yes, you're correct. That's the question I'm asking.
Okay, so I didn't cover that on this call because I imagine that majority of people are looking to monetize their skill set. But now, if you were a business trying to acquire customers, it depends on your kind of business. Well, can you tell me what your kind of business is so that I can just give you a few tips?
For example, we could use the plumbing business. Like, maybe I'm a plumber, for instance.
Okay, so you're a plumber, right? The first thing I'd say as a plumber is that you want to be on Google Maps, right? Google My Business, like immediately go and open a Google My Business page so that you can appear in Google Maps, right? So that anytime someone searches plumbers in their area, they find you. So do that immediately. Next thing is that you want to ensure that your past clients leave you a lot of reviews on Google Maps. So as soon as you appear on Google Maps, get all the people that have ever used your service to leave you a review on Google Maps. The third thing is ensure you add nice pictures, like show the work you have done on your business page, right? Right. And ensure that you have all your your phone number is there, your address is there. If you have an address, ensure that your previous customers have left you a review. Make sure they leave reviews with pictures, right? And every time you service a customer, ensure that they leave a review for you immediately, right? Then the last thing I'd say is that even though I'd say open an Instagram account, you're not opening an Instagram account so that you want to grow a lot of followers. You open an Instagram account so that you can sort of show people more pictures about your business, and you link to your Instagram from your Google Maps listing. Now, make sure your pictures on Instagram look very high quality, right? They are well taken, not blurry pictures, very good pictures, right? And don't go and steal pictures from the internet, because people will know when the pictures are not real, right? Like everybody already knows when a page is fake. So post your own pictures, show yourself doing the work too, right? That's what I would say as a very simple first step for you to start getting clients on the internet for your kind of business, which is plumbing. Okay, then.
Amazing. Thank you.
Let's jump
Olumide,
to
you just had a consultation service right now. Amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Yemi, for consulting for Olumide, because it looks like his question was there. All right, thank you. So we're going to be asking who now? Paul, and just to do a little bit of housekeeping, especially what's happening in the comment section, please keep your phone number to yourself. And you know, especially people that just joined in, they don't even know what's happening, and they are just dropping their phone numbers. We need to be careful, especially in a public group like this. Please do not have all these interactions on our call going forward. Anytime we're having a meeting or a webinar or whatever it is, please be careful what you share in the chat. Okay, so thank you. Tunde, over to you. You can ask your question now, and then I'll Hassan, you go next.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon. You can ask your question now.
All right, please, my question goes thus. How can we have the handout of this lecture, at least so that whenever maybe there's possibility we forget part of the things that you have taught us today, so that we're able to go back to the handouts at least
Okay.
so that we're able to remember it anytime
Thank
we
you.
need.
That's a good question. So the good thing about this is that this is being live streamed to YouTube. What that means is that you can anytime that you want, go back to YouTube to catch the replay. Okay, so it's up there for you. You can always, at any time whatsoever, go there to just refresh yourself. For those of you who joined late as well, for those of you who want to see or go over the lectures all over again, you can just do that on YouTube, and I'm sure that has covered that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do we have questions for our speaker?
Sorry, just to add also, I've also posted the links again to the group chat. So I'd advise you save them and read them on your own time.
Oh, yes, sure. Thank you. There are lots of, I'm just trying to repost them as well. There are blog links and other things that our speaker was gracious enough to share. So please go through them. Al Hassan, over to you.
Thank you, sir.
Al Hassan, please ask your question, and then Paul, you can ask your question as well. Okay, since Al Hassan is not here, Paul, please go on to ask your question. We have just about 8 minutes more, so let's maximize our time as much as possible.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. I didn't join the meeting early enough. I want to ask if he talked about how to create a Google business profile.
No, I did not cover that. But that's relatively simple to do. Just say, just Google it. You'll find like a ton of articles on how to do it.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, great. Safiat, Musa, you can ask your question now, and then Ashiru, Musa, you go next, please. Questions. Now is the time to ask. We've had such a brilliant session already today with Mr. Yemi. But now is the time to ask the specific questions that you have. So I'm just unmuting you. Shaibu, you can go next. Who else? James, Endurance. You can unmute yourself and just ask your questions, okay? Hi, James. I would take it that you people don't want to ask questions because all these hands raised.
Hello.
Okay,
Can you hear
yes,
me?
yes, we can hear you. Please go on.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon. We can hear you. Please go on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I want to ask two questions. The first one is, can one use this site now to create a business name or and to create a business name and to like open a, should I say, a company site for any business or for an organization?
Yes. So you can, again, are you done?
No, let me hear that one first.
Okay. So Google has a service called Sites, right? You can use to, if I click on it, basically what you can use it to do is you can use it to open a website for your business, right? But I wouldn't
Okay.
necessarily put a standard website. So if you're a small business, I'd say yes, you should use it. But if you want a standard website, then there are many other tools you can use on the internet for that. But many of those other tools, you need to pay for them, right? The good thing
Okay.
about Google Sites is that you don't need to pay for it, right? But if
Okay.
you want a proper website, there are many tools on the internet you can use to create your own website. However, you would have to pay for it. Now, depending on how complex your website is, the more expensive it would be, right? So that is what I'd say for that. Now, if you really just want to make a better website, that then I'd say maybe use a tool like WordPress. If you have the technical skills, I don't mean that you know how to code, but you want to invest in the technical skills to know how to build a proper website, there's a tool called Webflow that you can use. And then the last option is that if you're a developer, right, you can build your own websites. So it really matters on what kind of website you want.
Okay. 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 With the last one now is I'm seeing this not in that group chat. Please, how do I join?
I'm not aware that there's a group chat. Victoria, is there a group chat?
No, please. And I just did a disclaimer a few minutes ago. Please, whoever is sharing or putting up group links on the chats, kindly stop that and do not join the group. Also, stop dropping your phone numbers in the chats as well. Just, hold yourself from that to avoid scam and spam. Thank you.
Okay. And
Yeah.
because I heard you saying you want to post video on group chat, so that's why I'm
No,
asking.
no. He has shared the link in the comments. So just go to the comments right here on Zoom, click on it, and that's it, please.
Okay.
Thank you. So we'll go to the
All
next
right. Thank
person.
you very much.
Isaac,
All right.
please ask your. We're just going to take two more questions. So Isaac and Aliu, and I'm just going to YouTube now to see if we have questions there on YouTube as well. We'll take one from YouTube. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon.
Link.
Good afternoon. Please continue.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I want to ask this question. My question is, I listened to you while talking, but it was on YouTube anyway, and then I had to change back to Zoom, so I was not getting it clearly on YouTube. So I want to ask a question. If, for example, now you work for someone and or let's say you work for an organization or you work for someone and I needed to get a client, as said, and I want you to differentiate between posting an advert now on social media and using advanced Google tool. to get a client. So which one is more effective between the two of them?
So the one of trying to use Google search is more effective. Now, here's how I'll use the comparison. If you post an ad, right, you don't know who's seeing it.
Yeah.
And you don't know if you've reached the right person. The second thing is like, why should anybody care about the ad you posted, right? And the third thing is that, yes, you might have posted the ad, but is it relevant to whomever might see it, right? So, and the thing about ads is that you need many people to see it so that your right audience will buy it. So say, for instance, now you ran a billboard for a car, right? Maybe a car company, you sell cars. You run a billboard for your new car. Now, maybe you need millions of people to watch that ad, maybe, or see that billboard. And then your real clients are no more than 100 in that million. So the number of people that your clients compared to the number of people that saw the billboard is even up to 0.1%, right? And that's the thing about ads. You do an ad, you need, what's the name? You need a lot of people to see it. And at your level and at your scale, you probably cannot achieve that. And so the next thing is to do sales, which is that you find the right person and you reach out to them. And so by finding the right person, it means that you don't need to spend money or waste your time on people that will never patronize you. You have found the right person that needs your business, and you then need to do a good job of selling them on your skill sets. So the summary is that reaching out to people that qualify as your clients is the best approach. And that's why your reach out needs to be specific and intentional, right? If you spam people, nobody is going to respond, right? So that's that.
All right, sir. All right. Lastly, before I go, you mentioned something of using an email, and sometimes you might see contact phone number of maybe your client, and in both of them now, I just want to know which one will be more effective, because most of the time some people, like for example in Nigeria, most people don't like to go to their email, or you find out that everybody goes through WhatsApp, everybody goes through text messages on phone because it sounds, I don't know, maybe because of the sound that comes out when an alert comes in. But email now, so which one will be more effective, using email or using phone number or WhatsApp contact? Which one would you advise that should be more useful to make use of?
Yeah, so I would say it depends, right? For some industries, you know that the people there probably don't do emails. Don't do emails. And especially for small businesses, many small businesses don't use emails. But it's possible that in some industries, right, email is a thing that they use often, right? Now, in terms of reaching out, you will probably want to try both and see whatever works best for you and that industry. Now, because you are calling people, if you don't know how to do cold calls over the email, maybe you're not confident, you don't know how to pitch yourself over voice, right? You might suffer with it. And so you want to learn how to do that. The great thing about email is that you don't have that problem of people not understanding you. But the problem with email is that you don't know if the person read your email, or if the person, you don't know if the person got your email or if the person read your email. And to be fair, there are ways to know that. I covered in the article. There are ways to know if someone read your email. So I'd say try both and see what works best for you. There's no best option. It's just more of like what is suited to you and the industry you are in.
Amazing. Mr. Gabby, do you want us to take one more question, or we can just call it a wrap?
I think
we can take one more. Okay. So who is going to be the lucky person to? Okay, let's see the first person to ask. I'm going to unmute Fatima. We need a lady.
Okay, I was going to say I saw someone with my son name, so we should take that person, but let's take Fatima.
Okay, no. Okay, so can we now make it two? Let me pick Fatima. You pick the person that is your son. Okay. So who is the person? Johnson, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Fatima, ask your question now, and then Johnson, you ask next, okay? Fatima, are you here? Please unmute your mic and just ask your question. And then Johnson, you can also unmute and ask your question. Do we have them here ready to ask? If no, if you're not here, Chioma, you would have to ask your question. Chioma, please unmute your mic and then ask your question. Okay, Chioma,
Sorry,
yeah.
one sec. Hello. Can
Hi,
you hear
Chioma.
me?
Hello, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Please, how do we get the recording, the notes?
So,
Just check on YouTube. Okay, and then there's a link that
The
I
notes.
also dropped on YouTube, the chat, and also right here, our speaker has been dropping here. So you can just click on them and it will take you to the presentation as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Just check the chat right here on Zoom. You would see the links that was dropped by the our speaker. Johnson, are you still going to ask or should we move on? Okay, since Johnson is not going to ask, let's just take one last one from Yusuf or from Aliyu. Please unmute your mic and then you can ask your question.
Hello. Good
Hi
afternoon.
there.
Hi, Yusuf.
Hi.
Hello, hi. Good afternoon. I thank you very much for the opportunity to participate in this webinar. And I'd like to appreciate the speaker for a wonderful job. I appreciate, but my question is there going to be another seminar on Google Zoom so that because we want to specialize on providing service once online and the plans that giving them service because so many people challenge and they want to deliver their
Thank you, Aliyu. I think I get your
whatever and
question.
they have challenge on them.
Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to have more sessions on this. Thank you so much. But you can also watch the replay as well to get more of what our speakers shared. Mr. Yemi, thank you so much. Would you want to do final words and then we call it a wrap for today?
Wait, final words for me?
Yes, final words from you to the fellows, especially regarding this topic and maybe any other thing that you might have to share.
Okay. My final feedback would be that many of these things, again, many of you already have skills. You've gone to school, you're doing some work. The great thing about the internet is that it allows you to reach people that you would ordinarily not be able to reach, right? So try and find people, try and find how you can be helpful. And the great thing is that if you're helpful on the internet, then good things will come your way in that if you are not a bully, if you try and provide help, if someone needs help, comment and actually be helpful, people would notice, even if it's you're on Twitter, on your social media, like being helpful on the internet is a good thing. But just to summarize, in terms of from the lessons shared here, as I said, you have skills. You want to find people that need your skills. I've given you a way to find them. You want to pitch them effectively and not spam them because it's important. You want to find how to pitch them effectively on your skills. And then you can then close the sale and you can monetize your actual talent to skill level, right? This will take time, but the more you do it, the better you get at doing it. You probably need to kiss 100 frogs to find your Prince Charming. And that's sort of what you're also going to be doing here. So that's that.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sherry. Abubakar is saying, well done. Thank you so much for a great session. And I'm sure that this also captures the entire response of our fellows here on the call, right here on Zoom and also on YouTube. We want to say thank you on behalf of 3MTT and the organizing team as well. Thank you for sharing so wholly and being very present to answer the questions of our fellow regarding this topic. And so everyone just say thank you in the chat. Don't unmute, don't worry. Yeah, just say thank you, put emojis. I want Mr. Yemi to feel the appreciation. Let him hit him left, right, center, everywhere, so that next time we invite him, he will say a big yes to come. Thank you so much. And also, fellows, in the chat, I have dropped a feedback form for you. Remember that we're here to serve you. At the heart of everything we do is we're committed to serving you and giving you value on a day-to-day way, both with your technical skills and also with soft skills like this as well. So please give us feedback on the webinars that we had today and the ones that we've had previously, so that we can work on it, on giving you the best experience possible. Thank you again, Mr. Yemi. We're going to be calling it up a day. And to everyone who just joined in, not to worry, the replay is up on YouTube, so you can just go to our YouTube channel to catch it. And see you until next time. Bye for now. Do have a great weekend ahead. Bye.
Bye, everyone.